Hello, everyone. Now that I got all that nonsense and everything out the way, I hope that cleared it up for a lot of people what I had been going through. But when my family heard the videos, none of them got what you all saw. So it got to be something that's coming from you all because when I asked them how was the video, they always saying that it was okay. So, but I keep saying, people keep saying that I was mean, I was unkind, but all three of them are not saying or saw what you all saw. So, but I've been angry for so long, they probably, we all probably thinking that it was nothing wrong because I've been so angry for so long. Because these people have been doing this stuff for 14 years. And if I'm constantly saying you can have your lover just get out, go on your way. But that spirit in you don't want to go on your way. So I just got tired. It kept staying. And I'm like, just go away. You can have your lover and everybody just leave the house and leave me be. And that didn't go down like that. So now my DNA is always to be happy and excited. I can be excited. My family have to tell me to, Mom, calm down. Go down a notch. So don't tell me to go down on a notch because I'm excited over reading the word of the Most High. Now, if I'm going off on someone or an angry person that's angry with me and I'm letting them know that I'm not the one, don't consider that I'm a mean person because I'm not that way toward everyone. When people nice and kind to me, I'm nice and kind to them. But when people want to act like I should be their footstool, no, I'm not going to be kind to you. But just the same, the Most High is working on me like He's working through all of us. So don't sit here and try to label me as a mean spirit. Now, I was an angry person because of what I was going through. And it's not like I could tell anybody because when I were telling family members, no one believed me. Not one person believed me. So the devil was winning because not one person would believe me. And I guess by him being in the military, that's why they didn't want to believe me. So now I'm going to get started on the Bible, and that's it. I'm not explaining nothing else to no one what I have been going through for the last 14 years. But I did give y'all a little insight. But I did tell my aunts them everything. I mean everything. The bras, the underwear, the women bras and the underwear that was putting in my drawers. So you just keep in mind if someone was doing all those things to you, you wouldn't think that it turned you because you serve the Most High. But then when you get tired of it, you just get sick and tired of all the game playing. You just get sick and tired of it. But anyway, it's all about the Most High. So I'm getting everything focused back on Him. So now I was able to get my divorce and move on. So now let's get the focus back on Him. And now He can do whoever He wants to do out in public, and He don't have to hide it from me anymore. And I thank God for that. I'm getting ready to come to you from Luke chapter 16 through 1 through 31, and Luke chapter 17, 1 through 37. My husband don't like for me to tell anybody anything. That's why I've been keeping my mouth closed for years. Because he don't like our business being in the street. But I told him if I can help one woman of God, or one godly woman, if I can help them, or maybe 10 that's going through the exact same thing that this godly woman is going through, then my job is done. Because we don't have to stay in a marriage unhappy in this marriage. We don't have to stay there. Matter of fact, my divorce lawyer said I could have left from him not having intercourse with me for 2 years. I could have left then. And we need to arm ourselves with that knowledge, because I could have been free of him and on my way with the Most High. So think about it, women. We don't have to let these so-called playing with God men, we don't have to stay with them. He give us an option to leave. But the church ain't going to tell you that, because they want you to stay with these ungodly men. Adultery was one, but on the other hand, no intercourse. That was the second one that was the very first one we could have left. But until adultery come in for the Most High, then I can leave. But long as the word is saying, if he ain't giving you intercourse, you can leave, women. You still ain't doing what God said. God didn't say, unless y'all not having intercourse, you leave. There's nowhere in this Bible where it says that. Because if you know where it is, tell me, and I start passing it along to us women so we can be armed with knowledge that we don't have to stay home and take our men out here bringing girlfriends, swapping girlfriends, and then bringing disease back home to the wifey, the good wife. They're trying to serve the Most High righteously, upstairs, going to school and doing my homework for sometimes 8 hours, and then doing the books and stuff, keeping our books and houses and stuff, making sure that everything paid and making everything, making books so we can put everything in order. And then, and then this nonsense going on. And then when you try to confront the person, they constantly saying they ain't doing nothing. And then the neighbors hearing me going off all the time. And they probably thinking that, why don't he just leave that woman? She's so evil. But the neighbors didn't know what was behind it, because I wasn't telling the neighbors. And even if I had told the neighbors, they wouldn't have believed me. They would have did the same thing my brothers and sisters did to me. They didn't believe me. So that's how I know there's a lot of devil worshiping people on this earth that worship the devil, because if I had been telling it to somebody like me, a godly woman that feared the Lord, they would have believed me, and they would have knew where I was coming from, and they could have told me, hey, this is what I would do, or we could have, they could have helped me. But since he wanted me in the house and he knew I was a stuck in a house type of person, is what I'm saying. I wasn't finna say stuck up for you all who wonder why I said stop it stuck. But I was in the house all the time. And that's what he liked about me. He would never get caught because I stayed in the house to myself. And that's what makes it easy for men of the fake means of serving the Most High, when they keep their wives to themselves so nobody know what they're doing, and then making sure you're not cheating on them also. That's another good thing, so they'll know that you ain't cheating, so they can have their man free, that you ain't doing the same thing they doing to you, you ain't doing it to them. But I'm not that type of woman anyway. From the day he met me, I was never that type of woman. So if I can get back to my, Bible and teaching it, now you know everything. You don't know all the things in I don't even know all the players in the game, but I'm just telling you, now we know some background. And there's so much to be told. But it's all about him now. And I'm going to get back to it. Let our Most High words be true, and let the man word be a liar. Chapter 16. And he said also unto his disciples, there was a certain rich man which had a steward, and the same was accused unto him that he had wasted his goods. And he called him and said unto him, how is it that I hear this of thee? Give an account of thy stewardship, for thou mayest be no longer steward. Then the steward said within himself, what should I do? For my little Lord take it away from me, the stewardship. I cannot dig to beg. I am ashamed. I am resolved what to do, that when I am put out of the stewardship, they may receive me into their houses. So he called every one of his little lord's debtors unto him, and said unto the first, How much owest thou unto my little lord? And he said, 100 measures of oil. And he said unto him, Take thy bill, and sit down quickly, and write 50. Then said he to another, And how much owest thou? And he said, 100 measures of wheat. And he said unto him, Take thy bill, and write fourscore. And the little Lord commended the unjust steward, because he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. You can say that again. They are wiser than the children of light, with all that wickedness in their hearts. And I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of the mammon of unrighteousness, that when ye fail, they may receive you into everlasting habitation. He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much, and he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much. If therefore ye have not been faithful in the mammon, who will commit to your trust the true riches of riches? And if ye have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own? No servant can serve two masters. This is one of my favorite. For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve Elohim and Mammon. And that's what my husband was trying to do. He had one foot trying to serve the devil, and then he had another foot trying to serve our Most High. And as I watched through the years, and I tried to bring him back into the words, and I noticed he didn't want to pick up the Bible and read with me anymore, because we were reading together. And so I noticed he didn't want to do that. We did it down there in Valdosta, but in some reason in South Haven, Mississippi, he didn't want to do it no more. So I thought that was odd. I said, even when he cheated, he always read the Bible. So I thought that was very odd. And that was the very first red flag that popped up. Because I always knew when he was cheating. You know, women know their man, especially a smart one. And so that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to serve Satan, and then he was also trying to serve our Most High. And the Most High was like, you can't serve both of us now. You're going to have to either leave me and go to him, go to Satan. And so he chose Satan over our Most High. And that's when I knew then, okay, it's time for me to leave then. Because if you're going to choose him and put the Bible away, it's time for me to go ahead and leave you and go all the way to all the way to the Most High by myself, and let you go all the way to Satan by yourself. I said, we got to split. We part here. We got to part ways. And I had made up my mind. We going to part ways now. Because Satan can't have me. You may let him get you, but I ain't coming with you. We ain't a pair when it comes to that. So get back to on his word, because I can get so deep into it, and I can't let Satan take me back into that world that he had my husband in, and then I'm trying to get my husband to leave it, and I'm trying my best to fight Satan to get him away from my husband, and Satan ended up winning. So now when you see your husband withdraw intercourse, you already know Satan is there. And like I said, and I keep trying to explain to my husband, it's not you that did these things. Satan through you did these things. So don't keep thinking I'm talking because I'm talking at you. I think you did it. It's Satan that used you. And I don't hold it against you. I hold it against Satan. But I know Satan is still there. And I keep telling you, Satan is still there. You don't see and know he's there. I know he's there. And he's afraid of me, which he should be. Okay. And he called him, I'm going to have to go back to 2 because I don't remember where I was at. And he called him and said unto him, how is it that I hear this of thee? Give in an account of thy stewardship, for thou mayest be no longer steward. Then the steward said within himself, what shall I do? For my Lord, take it away from me, the stewardship. I cannot dig to beg, I am ashamed. I know I read this one, but I'm just going to read it all over if you don't mind. I am resolved what to do, that when I am put out of the stewardship, they may receive me into your houses. So he called every one of his little lord's debtors unto him, and said unto the first, how much owest thou unto my little lord? And he said, 100 measures of oil. And he said unto him, take thy bill, and this is where I stopped off at. Take thy bill and sit down quickly and write 50. Then said he to another, and how much owest thou? And he said, 100 measures of wheat. And he said unto him, take thy bill and write 80. And no, I stopped at 8, because I remember the children of the light. And the little Lord commended the unjust steward, because he had done wisely, for the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. And I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of the mammon of unrighteousness, that when ye fail, they may receive you into everlasting habitation. So you all got to hear it twice. For those of you that don't man listen to the word, it shouldn't be of a discomfort or anything to you, because I love listening to it, reading his words and learning more each day. He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much, and he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much. If therefore ye have not been faithful in the unrighteousness, mammon, and I don't know what mammon is. My husband told me that, but my ex-husband told me that now. Ex-husband, but I forget what he had told me. So when I find out, I'll let you know. Who will commit to your trust the true riches or riches? Yep, I remember reading that. So you can see how I get distracted when we talking about the stuff that my husband did. And that's why I'm glad I wasn't really talking about it as much, because it can be a distraction. And look how it distracted me. I already read this now twice. So I hope you all don't mind. And that's why I really didn't want to say it. But everybody kept taking me as mean. And then the neighbors probably took it as, oh, this the wife always mad at the husband for something. And then they didn't even know, because it ain't like I'm going to tell them. I'm like, y'all probably would love that he's doing this. So who knows? I could be talking to Satan, my husband, Satan friends over there. I don't know. I'm not saying that they Satan friends. I'm just saying I don't know my neighbors like that. We have never connected or talked, so I don't know. And if ye have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own? No servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve Elohim and Mammon. Now I remember, because that's why I got on the story about my husband. He was trying to serve Satan and the Most High. He was trying to serve two gods, and that's why I got on it. So I apologize, you all. I'm not going to erase it, because y'all need to know we are human and we make mistakes. I'm not going to do like all these other people don't want you to know that they make mistakes, so they want to clear everything out. So these kids today can think that it's not right or normal to make mistakes. Y'all kids need to know, teach your kids it's okay to make a mistake. Just repent like the Most High said. Repent and keep walking toward the Most High, not back toward Satan. We move forward, not backwards. Some women down there in Georgia, in Valdosta, they tried to get me to walk with them while they serving Satan. And I kept telling them, I'm going in another direction now. My life is not at this point anymore. My life is walking toward the Most High. And they didn't want to hear that. They kept trying to draw me back into their world. And I kept trying to explain to them very nice as I could put it. As nice as I could put it, I tried to tell them, I'm walking in another direction, and it's toward the Most High. It's no more playing no more. I'm going toward him. And they kept on wanting me to come over there and listen to their word and music and sing to it. And I kept trying to give them the understanding what level I was at that point in my life. I'm not no longer serving the Satan. I'm not doing this here no more. I'm not serving to master anymore. I'm walking toward our most high, and that's it. I'm not on the fence anymore. I got my both legs on one fence. And they couldn't understand me. So they hated me after that, and I didn't care. My husband didn't want to go over there anyway because he said he didn't like going over there. They get on his nerves, and I said, I hear you. And I said, well, I won't go anyway no more because they trying to take me away from where I'm going. And so I had to come back and stay with the Most High. I left every friend I ever had. And then when I tried to make good friends with good souls, next thing you know, someone would say something to them and they didn't want to be friends. And I said, well, if they believe Satan, let them go with Satan. I'm fine. And then I met a church woman that was trying to teach for the first time. They were bad mouthing her and everything. And I said, well, girl, I can encourage her and everything. And then she started being on their side against me. And I said, what's wrong with this lady? She told me that she was for our Most High, and now she's believing lies. And then she turned her back. And I said, that's fine. That means you weren't for our Most High either. You was laying just like the rest of them, and you don't want to see me walk into my purpose, which I didn't know what my purpose was at that time. And that's so right. When he's ready to wake me up, I'll wake up. And I did. So that's just giving you a little insight of how messed up Satan put all these people in my way to try to keep me from my purpose-driven life, which is to the Most High, to do his will. And he sent all these people. Now I saw they were my stumbling blocks trying to get me to come back to them. And I'm like, no, I'm never walking backwards. I'm walking forwards. And then once he started using my husband when we got there, and I kept trying to bring him back to the Bible. And then, thanks to the Most High, I was able to somewhat bring him back, but then I saw that he was out there too. And I said, well, he out there. Ain't nothing I can do now at this point but just go back and serve the Most High myself. And that's what I had done. But as a woman of the Most High, I didn't know what I could do. I said, I don't have no proof that he's cheating on me. I just know he is. Until I get that proof, then I can't walk away, because then they're going to say, you just did the one of the things you weren't supposed to do in the Bible. If he wasn't cheating on you, you weren't supposed to walk away. And I said, now, if I had proof, I can clearly walk away, but I don't have any proof yet. So I stayed there in a relationship that I didn't want to be in until I can get proof. Because no one was going to believe me that I left because of unfaithfulness. They was going to put everything on me, because that's how Satan works. He put everything on the woman. Oh, she was this, and everybody believed everything they ever said bad about me. Once I started seeing that, I knew then something is wrong with this world. And I kept bringing it to my husband's attention down there. That's when it first started. I said, something is wrong with this world. And I kept bringing it to his attention. I said, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but something is wrong with this world. And then by the time I got here, my daughter kept saying principalities. I said, yeah, I read that in the Bible. I read all this stuff, but I don't know what it means. So it meant nothing really, because I didn't know what they were talking about. I just knew a little bit into it because we weren't being taught about it, so we didn't know but a little. And then after that, the Most High, like I said, down there kept telling me, get out them churches, they ain't for me. And I said, well, I know that's the devil talking, because why would Most High tell me to get out them churches, they ain't for me? And I said, I know that's the devil, and I'm not doing it. And then finally he came again, and I said, you know what? I've been hawking his word all this time. I think I'm going to listen to that voice, because it could be from the Most High. I don't know. So when I hawked that voice and got out, and then later on, I realized what he was saying was right. Because one of the men in the church, even though they knew we were married and had a son living with us, their daughter asked him at the church to come to their Thanksgiving dinner with her, to come to their Thanksgiving dinner at her house. And he had to tell one of the men at the church, my wife, I don't think my wife and son would like that. To let them know that I got a wife and son that I'm going to be at home with, doing Thanksgiving dinner with. And I said, why would a wicked man from the church tell you to do that when he know you still married? I said, that makes no sense to me. And I said, now I'm starting to see why he told me to get out. Them churches ain't for me. And I got out. And I never went back in. And so since I didn't go back in with my husband, he went back in. And that spirit got on him. And it didn't get on me because I got out after the year when I got out. So I think it was a year after going, I got out. Maybe 6 months. I'm not sure now. It's been so long. So don't quote me on it. But he stayed in. Because, you know, I was born in the church. Because that's why I thought, no, it ain't no Most High telling me to get out of no church. I was born in the church. And so I did what he said. And then later on, I started hearing that. Then I heard one of the acting pastor, not the pastor himself, but one of the acting pastors said on the church staff, yeah, one of the people, congregation person said, he said something bad about our pastor and he took sick. And he started laughing on the steps of the church. And I said, oh my God, I just read about these people in the Bible. He said, stay away from these type of people. So that was playing on my man from the time that guy said that on the church step. It been playing on my man to leave that church. And I did. After the Most High told me to get out. And I said, now I know it was the spirit of the Most High on me telling me to get out. And I did. And I'm glad I did. I don't think the head pastor knew what was going on. And I didn't want to say nothing because I was new and I was barely new and nobody knew us. And I said, well, I ain't finna be the one to disrupt his church. At least he's teaching everything right and I'm going to leave this church alone. I'm just not coming back. And so sometime when I knew he was going to preach and I said, he's preaching? Oh, I'm going today. And I would go up there. Only when I knew he was preaching. Now, if he wasn't preaching, I stayed at home. And then a lot of time I just got out altogether. Because I knew then what he was showing me. So when he's telling you all stuff, believe it. They're going to try to tell you crazy, don't believe it. It's something else talking to you. Because they are part of that wickedness. And they are part of Satan. To get people to come to Satan and not to the Most High. And I was smart enough to get out. When I should have been running out the church, but I just walked out and never went back and never looked back. And so they were seeing how to take my husband from that day forward since I wasn't coming back to church. And that's one of the examples that I know that they done, you know, and that's the truth. And nothing but the truth, so help me, Elohim. And he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourself before men. Oh, let me go back up just in case I missed this one. Chapter 16, verse 14. And the Pharisees also, who were covetous, heard all these things, and they derided him. And he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but Elohim knoweth your hearts. And that's why I say my next husband, Elohim gonna know their heart. So I don't know. He told me that he need us apart, and I don't know if I hope he don't send my husband back because all the stuff he done, I don't want to be back with him. But you know, Elohim is not like man. Just because you said you don't want to be back with him, you don't know what the hell Elohim may be doing. He may be sitting here saying, I'm going to work on you. Because he told me, he said, and I had to tell my husband this. I said, Elohim saying, you need to get out of this house because he going to work on me. And he going to work on building me back up. And he going to work on building you back up. But right now, we can't be together. And I said, I sure hope he is not finna fix you back up. I said, I sure hope the new man that he finna bring to me, that I want him to bring to me, is not going to be the old man, you. I said, but I know how he works from reading his Bible. So I just hope he ain't finna bring you back. But I don't know, because you know his ways are not ours. He could be. But I'm hoping and praying that he give me a new man, a new husband. Not a new man, but a new husband that already got the Most High embedded in his soul. But you know how things work when it comes to the Most High. You just know. You just never know. I mean, you just never know. So Anyway, back to the story, excuse me. And he said unto them, Ye are they which justify yourself before men, but Elohim knoweth your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of Elohim. The law and the prophets were unto John. Since that time the kingdom of Elohim is preached, and every man pressed it into it. And it is easier for heaven and earth to pass than one title of the law to fail. Whosoever putteth away his wife and married another committed adultery, and whosoever married her that is put away from her husband committed adultery. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus. I love this story too, which was laid at his gate, full of sores, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. And it came to pass that the beggar died, and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. And the rich man also died and was buried. I love it. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his fingers in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thou good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And besides all this, between us and you there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. Then he said, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house. For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment. Abraham said unto him, They have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. And he said, Nay, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent. And he said unto him, If they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead. And see, a lot of time I couldn't tell no one what was going on, because Satan's son didn't want me to tell, and I didn't want him to feel bad about what he was doing, so I kept my mouth to myself.